Hi folks, we're going to be doing a little test t-shirt today for someone who's interested. They've sent me an image which they've actually created, and let's print it out on a t-shirt in 2 different medias just to see what it looks like. Right, okay then. Well, I've had someone who sent me an email who's watched one of my videos on YouTube. Now, as I say, your reasons for starting a t-shirt printing business can be many varied. You've got different skill sets, different levels of knowledge which you may already have, or you may be a total beginner. That's fine. When I started, I was a total beginner, so I didn't have any of the skill sets needed, but all the skills are learnable. Now, this person's contacted me, and they're actually working as some sort of graphic in graphic design. In other words, they're producing their own artwork, and they've tried doing pictures and paintings, but they wanted to expand their portfolio, so to speak, and they wanted to see how their images would actually come out and transfer onto, for example, t-shirts. So we've got a t-shirt ready to go here. I've got 2 types of media which I'm going to use, which the person's asked for. One is a t-shirt transfer, which is the light t-shirt transfers, because I'm going to be putting these images on a white t-shirt. And I'm also going to use the sublimated to cotton image transfer paper and the actual powder, which allows us again to print this image on a 100% cotton t-shirt using sublimation inks. So I've just printed this out at the moment, and this is the design. Let me show you. Now, what I gather this is a little collage of this person's actual artwork, and as you can probably see there, it's very bold and colourful, many different textures involved. If you could get near enough, you could actually see the texture of the canvas on some of these images, which we've actually captured in the print as well. Now, I've not adapted or altered anything in this apart from resize it onto A4 paper, and that's all I've actually done. But as I've said to you before, you could actually transfer onto A3 transfer papers. The one I use do come in an A3 size as well, but I'm printing on a small t-shirt, so I'm just going to use the A4 transfer paper in this case. And I'm also going to do the sublimated to cotton product, so I'm just going to print this out on my sublimation printer. So come over here. So those of you who know my setup, which I've got here, this is actually my mug printing setup, and I actually only use the sublimation ink as a rule for printing on the mugs, but in this instance we're able to use the sublimated to cotton powder, which I've got some left here, and also the special transfer papers involved as well. And I've pulled it up in CorelDRAW. This is on an A4 sheet of paper, so I'm just going to print this out now. And in CorelDRAW, I've got the power driver software all latched up, so there's no need for me to reverse the image. All I need to do is press print. And don't forget, this is my 3300N Ricoh printer, which I've had absolutely no problems with whatsoever. And the later one than this now, as you probably know, is the 3100 SG3100 Ricoh, which is what you can buy for sublimation purposes. It's not a sublimation printer. This isn't a sublimation printer, but the inks we put in this and work consistently well without any problems whatsoever are sublimation inks, which are the Sawgrass inks. The SubliJet are the ones that I use. So as you can see, the colours don't look very vivid when you come out when you're printing with sublimation ink. That's absolutely standard. The colour profiles have all been matched and altered in the power driver software, which is installed on this computer for this printer. And all we're going to do now is take this over, place it into our box which we've got there, and I'm going to get the powder now, and as you've seen me do many a time, just sprinkle it over the top, and we're just going to agitate this powder all over the card, all over the total image, to get it covering everything. And I'm running a little bit lower powder here, so I'm just going to make sure it's gone all over again. And as I say, you can normally see that it covers very, very well, this stuff, and you can see the finish it leaves. It's like a mottled finish, and it looks totally different than the image which I've already printed out. So that is now done. Let me take that out of there. There we go. So all the residual is off of that now, and I'm just going to place that down there. And that just shows you the difference between the 2 lots of paper. Let's get a closer look for you. Now this one, as I've said to you, is printed on my standard printer, my Epson 1500W, and it's using the basic standard dye-based inks that you use in the bulk ink system, or in fact what you use in your normal printer anyway, as opposed to this one, which has been printed using sublimation inks, which is the Sublijet R paper inks, and also the special transfer paper you need to use this product. So all we're going to do now is press these both on a white t-shirt, one on the front and one on the back, and we'll see the results for our client here who's obviously using their own artwork. Now again, on the front, I'm going to press this at 190 degrees for 30 seconds. Just lay my cover sheet over the top, and I'm just going to take the collar of the garment over the edge of the heat lantern, as I've shown you before, because we don't really want to double press that. And I'm going to pull that down, and we're counting down now for 30 seconds. So this is the transfer. Now don't forget, this is the sort of ink that you use in your day-to-day printer if you've got an inkjet printer. There's nothing special here. It is the basic dye-based inks. You'll hear a lot of people say you need to use pigment inks. I've never used pigment inks. I'm using what I've showed you here, as I've told you many times before. Okay then, so we just remove that. Pull the transfer paper off. And as you can see there, there's side one done. And there's our transfer paper image, as you can probably see there, in lovely vivid colours, great reproduction, and as you say, you've still retained all the marks there for the canvas marks, which you can probably see there on the actual t-shirt as well. So I'm just going to flip it over now, pull the tray out, flip it over, get it central. And now we're going to use the same paper, the different paper now. And again, this is the special Sublijet cotton paper. And I'm going to place that in the middle. Lay my sheet over the top, push it back in. And down we go for another 30 seconds. Okay, there we go. I'm going to turn the heat press off now, don't need that on anymore. Bring that one out here and just ease off our second transfer paper. There we go. And this is the Sublijet cotton one. Let me put that over there. And as you can see, very, very great results as well with this one. Lovely definition on the whole of the image there, as you can probably see. Very clear and detailed. And that is the Sublijet cotton product there. And bearing in mind, flipping it over on this side, slightly lighter texture, slightly different colour settings from the both different printers, but as you can see there, another fantastic image. And bearing in mind, this is a transfer, and as you can see around the edge there, there's no residue of any transfer paper whatsoever. Colour definition is very, very good on both images, to be honest with you. So transfer paper on the front, spin it over. On the back, this is our Sublijet cotton product, and again, very nice. No need to have any weeding lines around the edge. So this could have had very wispy fine artwork coming out here, and I wouldn't have had to cut it all with a cutter, because wherever that material sticks to, that powder, is what stays on the image. So there you go. Yet another successful print on both sides of the garment there, as you can see, using two totally different medias, and the texture on both. In fact, I would say the Sublijet cotton product feels a bit more, I would say, like a vinyl or a transfer, but both of these actually will improve with washing. So I don't know whether you can see there's slight colour differential, and bearing in mind I haven't done any colour alterations to that whatsoever. All the details have come out absolutely fantastic in both images, and they will actually improve with age once they've been washed a few times. So there you go. If you're an artist or someone who's involved in art, or you may have a club or some sort of group or something where you produce artwork or whatever, these are just another way you can express your artwork and get yourself out there. So you don't have to have specialist knowledge in just painting, for example. You can transfer your knowledge onto garments like this, or even the mug printing business as well. And the marketing of how you market that is a totally different ball game, so that's another learning curve, not for these tutorial videos. So just because you've got the knowledge, and if you've got the following of someone who likes your artwork and you just want to expand, this might be an ideal way for you to do that as well. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this little tutorial video. So we've got the transfer paper on the front, very, very nice and colourful. And on the back, we've got the subliter cotton product. It's all here if you want to take your own personal artwork and take it one step further. You might want to design your own clothing range. You might want to use your own images and create a limited edition line of clothing. This is how you do it, cheap and easy. Transfers, sublimation, using the heat press. Thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later. Bye for now.